Let's see what we got.
Hey.
Right here. Right here. Effigy's eyes, that man loved to talk. If it's sane and logical reasoning you're wanting, you're gonna be disappointed. Ain't no sense in any of it. Mayhap you've heard of Coldmorn. Was a quiet, forgettable patch of the woods. Till a pack of rabid clodhoppers set it afire.
That was the start of the purges. Dear Woodens killing their own.
A farmer on the other side of the mountains woke up one day with his head all aflame and took it for the gibbering speech of his god. And so did a few thousand of his countrymen. So when he tired of Vorlus fields and marched west, a horde of armed hicks followed. Bunch of fool nonsense is what I'm talking about. But others have called it the same. If you know that much, then you've heard of Coldmorn. Ours was the village that let a few thousand of Widewind's troops pass through.
You were from Coldmorn? When I heard what happened out there after the war, I couldn't believe my ears.
Fine line between couldn't and wouldn't. Maybe not, but the Raid Sarens had us clean beat in numbers. Even bumpkins like us figured that. Just look at Mercy Vale. They fought back, and now there ain't one stone standing atop another in the whole village. Besides, we asked the Duke for help. Told him Widewind's troops was coming through the mountains. Seems he had better uses for his soldiers. So we let Widewind's soldiers pass. Left him for the Duke to wrangle on his own terms. Was after the Godhammer made a fine grit out of Widewind, when Deerwoodens were running on rage and looking for something to burn. They came at dark, hundreds of folk. Every one of 'em mourning someone lost in the war. Must have decided it was our duty to escort their dead back to the wheel. They didn't light their torches till they had us surrounded. Time we saw 'em, there was a ring of fire closing around us. I woke, ran to the window. Whole village were a maze of flames. Couldn't see nothing for the smoke. And the screams. Most ran for the streets, got caught by the mob. Others hid, let their houses burn down around them. Hunting down the men and women what took part. Thought that much was clear. Sure. You want me to tell you straight? I found the men and women what destroyed my village, and I burned their houses down around them. Sometimes they was alone, and sometimes they wasn't. It were a mob that destroyed our village, but it was just one man that burned my family's house. Kept hoping I'd get to him as I was working my way through the rest of those maggots. No matter now, I suppose. Only kind of have with someone like him. Or me. Around about 13 years. Too long, you ask me. No other way to feel about the man who flayed my living soul. He'd spread butter on bread and claim he made something. Never been accused of modesty, that man. He managed to stuff my soul into this heap of bronze, true enough. Maybe that makes him a genius. Also makes him a son of a bitch. Every day. Just kept putting it off. It's not like either of us was going anywhere. Looked after his tools, cleaned the workshop, swung the sledgehammer. Oh, and snatched up travelers for his soul tinkering. But don't you worry. They were all bad folk. Just so you know, you got a real professional working for you. Yeah, I've had enough of him too. Stalwart's great this time of year. Beareth spells in bloom for a good 5 days, and the mountain squall actually blows the fish stench away from town. Better than staying at Galvino's, anyway. I got a reputation. People in these little villages ain't the most open-minded. Not yet. Believe what you want. I killed a lot of folk, but none of them was in Stalwart. Plenty, but nothing you need to know. Just 'cause I made of metal don't mean I got any special fondness for smiths and forges. No more'n what Galvino already told you. For fancy dwarven poetry? None of them ever struck me as especially literate. So whichever you can stand to get close to. And that's on you. I lost my sense of smell 13 years ago. Nothing specific. Everyone looks about the same when they got their fingers up their noses. Only the last group, one before you, there was something different about them. Couldn't put my finger on it, but they was dangerous. Almost felt the hair on the back of my neck. Ain't felt that way about anyone else walking through Galvino's door, that's for sure. Murder, tracking, and the best. There weren't much to say about it. By my reckoning, that means it was pretty good. Ma was a trapper, taught me to set snares and dress game. Dad was a tinker. I never had his patience, but it were fun to watch him work. My brothers and sister, they was good folk too. Part of me's glad they ain't here to see me now.
Hey.
Good thing I'm freshly greased.
Nice and slow. And what does the flame reveal?
Yeah.
Hey.
It ever occur to you that maybe those dukes sent you here to screw things up? Ain't
It
that
takes
special?
a paranoid mind to dream up a scenario where that makes any sense.
Hey.
Hate to piss on your daisies, but them dukes will sell you out when it suits them.
My life is theirs. I don't question how it will end, so long as it ends in service to the Republics.
Right here.
Hey.
Uh-huh.
Hey.
I'm not.
All right, then.
If you say so. That'll do. You gotta see this.
I must say, I'm impressed.
Uh-huh. To a frozen... I got a reputation. Just 'cause I murder, only kind of have.
Hey.
Didn't think I'd miss this place. Had that much right. Village was a touch livelier when I saw it last. Ain't saying much, though. Bitter cold and a persistent odor of fish. And that were just the people. Anything's better than Galvino's workshop. You ain't heard the old buzzard sing. Anyway, what about you? We seen lots coming through, trying to crack the battery, but no watchers. Treasures with sharp edges and spiky bits, right? Those come in handy. But don't let me keep you from the sights and sounds of Stalwart. They're easy to miss.
Right.
Hey.
Uh-huh.
Hey.
I hope you've had some luck. And do take care with that device. It has... What? So it works? What a day! But why these gems? I didn't think the device would be able to pick up inert Audra. I have to study this further. But all the same, it worked! At last! A breakthrough! With that Audra to work from, I can refine the enchantments. We'll be digging up iron, gold, Audra, all of it! This is going to change everything. Oh, and I won't leave you empty-handed, of course. Here! I had this set aside for supplies, but I don't think I'll be staying in Stalwart much longer. I won't forget all you've done for me. They'll hear about this back home, I promise you. Who knows? Perhaps they'll name the next battery after you.
Me and Slit.
Dawning? What for? You like your ogres bigger?
Hey. Of course.
Right here. I got a reputation. Believe what you want. Plenty. Not yet, not yet.
Hey. All right, then.
Oh, it's you. I'm so glad you came by. I hoped I'd have the chance to thank you properly. They told me what happened. God's bless you, sir. I owe you my life. I know it was foolish of me to run in there, but this ring is all that I have of my family. Sentiment, mostly. When he first settled here, my grandfather had a ring fashioned from the first batch of ore he excavated. It was supposed to commemorate his fresh start. He passed it on to his daughter, and my mother gave it to me in turn.
Hey. Yes? Hey.
Got to speak up?
Sinove, please. If we go now, we can get behind the barricade. We won't do any good here.
We're gonna go down fighting. Anyone who feels differently can settle it with me right now.
You got the look of someone with his teeth around a secret.
That's enough.
That name. It carries memories of death, war, fury, the taste of blood. What do you want with it? What trickery is this, stranger? You think a Pargrin would so easily betray her own people? You speak like one who knows me. Then you're not one of Zoltan's visiting merchants, or Exandru's foreign zealots. You're one of us. Then let us share the words of our bond, brother. Did I nod off? My, but I had the strangest dream. So much work to be done. Pardon me, but I'd better check on those miners. At the rate they're going, it'll be another year before they clear that blazing shaft.
Didn't think there was anything more than lice and hoarfrost to these folk, but you had a look back there. What do you find when you're rooting around like that? Mayhap I'm looking for someone. Woodcutter by the name of Harmka. It sure does. He was one of them. The mob that destroyed Cold Morn. I tracked him to Stalwart years ago, but got caught before I could finish my business. This man, Harmka, I saw him outside my house the night it burned, staring into the flames the way I seen you stare into souls. I knew it were a fool's errand trying to hunt down every man and woman that carried a torch into Cold Morn, but if I knew I got the one responsible for my kin and my hearth, I could rest easy. I took a good long look that night. Ours was a little place with a yellow door right on the edge of town. He was there. Besides, I asked around when I first got to Stalwart. Townsfolk said that all the woodcutters in town took part in the purge. Point of pride for them. I told you he was part of the mob. I spotted him watching my house when it burned. But when we find him, I want to know if he's the one responsible for my home, my parents, and my brothers and sister. I never thought I'd have the chance to know for sure, but you could look into his soul and find out, you being a watcher and all. Mighty fine of you. Mighty fine indeed. Don't know where he dallies these days, but someone in Stalwart could tell us. People from little villages, they always know.
Hey. Hey. Hey.
Hey there. Let me know if you need... Not so brave now, are you? What? Did I spill something on myself?
This is going to be fantastic. Just wait till they hear about this back home.